know I've mentioned this before, but autumn in Montana is one of my favorite seasons. And part of the reason for it is because of this intense gold color that the grass turns. It is not quite as apparent here, but you can see lots of different layers and colors, lots of the shades of the same color. I just think it's so beautiful. Going into the fishing access, we spotted this golden eagle, and there seem to be two of them in the tree. It's really hard for me to see right now because everything is all silhouetted, but hopefully you'll be able to see it on video. It was really beautiful watching it. Okay, we are now at the fishing access. I was a little concerned that we might not have any nice rocks to find, but by gosh, we have a beach all the way over here, and we have a beach, excuse me, and we have a beach all the way over here. And I think between the two of them, we ought to be able to find something. This isn't a very big beach, but any rock beach is a good one as far as I'm concerned. I'm sure there's something wonderful that we can find here. And if not, we at least were out in the sunshine and fresh air. This, I believe, is a piece of jasper, which you may know I have a weakness for. I just love what jasper looks like. It's the same hardness actually as agate, it just has some colors in it, and I just can hardly pass by a nice piece. I'm making my way fairly quickly down the beach because the sun is behind me right now, and that means is that my shadow falls on the rocks, makes it much more difficult to see any kind of glow, any kind of different type of light. So I'm going to make my way down the beach, and then I'm going to turn around and scope it out in the other direction. This looks like it has so many different layers and lines. Let's wash this off and see what it is. I thought initially this was an agate, but I don't believe that the material is agate-like. However, it's super, there's a lot of layers in it, a lot of lines. I'm going to take that home and cut it open. I'll bet it's really pretty. So, speaking of things that are not agates, I found this on the ground, and it has the same hardness as the agate. It's very, very hard, fairly heavy, and it looks like it's got what you would call waterline if it was an agate. Maybe it is an agate, maybe it's just a different kind. I'm not really sure, but it's sure pretty, and it's coming home with me. Okay, we've reached the end of the beach, and of course the sun has gone behind a cloud, so it would no longer have been a problem to have the sun at my back, but it will probably come out again. So I just must practice patience and try to look as carefully as I can so that I don't miss anything. And of course, a rock hunt wouldn't be complete without a cool piece of petrified wood. Got some really pretty lines in it. It's not the kind of agate that I usually look for, but I'm quite intrigued by the layers of color. I'd like to take that home and slice it open to see what it has to say to me when it's from the inside. And we're always going to find hidden away in the crevices pretty little pieces of agate. Just another pretty piece of jasper. This one's pretty hard to identify for sure. It certainly has the classic agate bubble shape, but it might be very cloudy. So let's wash it off and see if it's worth taking home. That is a very interesting rock. It's not a Montana agate that we usually look for, but it has little pieces of white, little flecks of white all throughout the yellowish chalcedony, which might be very, very pretty slabbed. We'll give it a try. These pieces of petrified wood that I'm finding here are not just the standard kind of rectangular square pieces of petrified wood. They have really interesting shapes. I'm pleased with that one. Nice. I think somebody else has been here. I'm on the other half of the beach now. My son and I split. I went left and he went right. And his beach is bigger than mine, so he's gonna have to share. I love it when nature does the tumbling and the trimming for me. This is smooth as if it was tumbled. So pretty. You know, I've had such remarkable luck lately finding just really big, gigantic agates that now when I don't find a gigantic agate, I'm feeling all kind of like, oh no, I'm failing. But of course, there's never failure when you're out hunting rocks. There's always something beautiful to see. This, I think, is just a piece of jasper. But look at those stripes, look at the colors, just look at the texture. It's beautiful. And if we're not hauling home a bunch of heavy agates, maybe I can haul home some other cool stuff. This is some jasper mixed with random other minerals. I believe it is what the geologists call brecciated. Just look at the colors in that. I have to say, I don't feel that that was a failure of a find. That is going to be so pretty when we cut it, because those colors go all the way through.
So there's a golden rule in fossil hunting that also applies to agates here, and that's that you tend to find the best stuff just after you've decided that you're just about to go back, right? Just right on the verge of going back. And I found this. I just love the opening in there, then all the beautiful like orange and white crystalline structure on the outside. Window into it. It's just amazing. Odds and ends. I think I have I guess another kind of more sizable agate. Less up my alley. I know this is like agate enthusiasts are probably drooling, but so this kind of agate is a little less up my alley, but still beautiful. It's got like really neat structures on the inside over there. Then other stuff kind of odds and ends that I really like. This kind of like deep saturated colors and bits of layering, greens and reds. I'm very much a Jasper fan, I guess.
This beach has the most interesting selection of non-agate rocks I've seen in a long time. I'm not sure if it's because there's very little silt on the rocks and so I'm able to see them better, or what, but they just have so many different textures and colors. This one I think is really super interesting. It may be that the oxides are just gathered on the outside like this and it's actually not that pretty inside, but I'm going to take it home and give it a shot. I just stopped at the river to wash something that ended up being nothing, and there in the water was this beautiful little jasper. Just gorgeous. And again, it's almost been tumbled by the river. Nice. Well, I haven't found an awful lot in the way of actual agates today, but I sure have found a lot of beautiful rocks. This one is chalcedony, which is the material that agates are made out of. It has a little bit of quartz druzy in the middle there. Get me doing all the vocabulary. And it actually has some banding and stuff, so I think we're gonna call this one an agate. Yay, we didn't get skunked. I think I'm going to have to name this Jasper Beach, because I have found more pretty jaspers today than I have in a really long time. It's a little bit like a slice of watermelon, doesn't it? That's cool. This beach also has enough to satisfy my petrified wood itch. Boy, that sounds dangerous, doesn't it? Like something you need antibiotics for. It's my desire for petrified wood. How's that? I think what we have here is a piece of chalcedony that has cracks in it that have been filled by iron oxides. I would like to believe that those lines go all the way through the rock, but I suspect they don't. Still, it's got a nice little agate shape, and it has the skin on it, agate skin. Doesn't look like it's got a lot going on for it inside, but it's small enough. I'm gonna haul it home and see if it's anything good. I'm making my way back to the car and spotted this little guy. Again, I think it's probably not anything, but I think I might have, it's got to be an agate fever. That is very interesting, isn't it? Those lines in it appear to be all the way through, but it's kind of muddy looking and not something that I'm planning on keeping. Here's a cool thing you don't find very often. Look at that. It's a little tiny shell fossil. Cute. That's nice.